Okay, mic check, mic check. Should be able to hear and also see now. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, get this oriented here. Mr. Blue here, TradePhantoms.com. Hopefully y'all had a good end of the quarter yesterday. Today is October 1st. So we have a new, not only a new fresh month being October, we also have a new fresh quarter being Q4. So let's put in a good final 3 months of the year. And obviously that starts with today. And make sure you do your books, clean books for your end of month and end of quarter as well. You know, got a lot of bunch of Excel sheet that I got to work on too as well, even for Phantoms. What's going on, my man, Sean? Good morning, Sean. Hey, Sean, caught your first butterfly yesterday, I believe, right? First butterfly you ever did, and I think you caught it. That's one for the record books. Good morning, Jo, the goat. Butterflies are hard to catch, so congratulations to you, sir. All right, cool. I think I got this oriented. In the next, I got a lot of things on my plate at the moment right now. Again, closing the quarter. We're gonna get to the charts in a moment, but the point that I'm trying to make is what's going on, Possum Foot? I'll put Max. I'm gonna start to stream, like sharing my screen. This is we gotta get off the bootleg, man. We gotta get sharing the screen activity here. All right, so I got that covered in the next week or two, give or take. Let me close up the quarter, right? All right, let's get to the charts. I think we're good here. All right, for right now. And we got a lot of things to cover here, so I want to make sure that I'm getting to the charts here, nitty gritty. All right, Trade Phantoms, Mr. Blue. And I'm going to go through a 1 hour session here with just some pre-market prep and kind of what we look for here. So let's dive into the charts. Let's see. So just real quick, as always, let me just pop this up here. The backdrop of Phantoms. Institutional order flow of demand and supply, right? Demand and supply. So top-down approach, multiple time frame analysis, starting with the highest time frames. I always bring this up: monthly, weekly, daily. Orange, yellow, blue is kind of a similar, simple color code, so I know what levels I'm looking at, etc. VWAPs, all that kind of stuff that we look for inside of the trade room in Trade Phantoms. Okay, we got the long candlesticks, bullish candlesticks. Location being most important, as always. I just kind of bring this up. What's going on, Charlie? Bearish candlesticks. Right, location being most important as well. We always talk about this. All right, and then the liquidity map. All right, my Phantoms know, and trained on this, and super powerful. And this is a document that Phantoms, as I always mention every day, right, is downloadable for the team. All right, let's dive in. So we have starting out with futures here. Think or swim. I will switch over to just really briefly. The major 4 indexes. Okay, so as mentioned, we closed the month of September. We closed the quarter 3 of 2024. Okay, 2025 right around the corner. I got the S&P futures upper left, NASDAQ upper right, Dow Jones lower left, Russell 2000 bottom right. Okay, everything on a daily time frame. I'll just pop this open just really briefly. Okay, I know it's a little bit more difficult to see the prices on the gray background, but we'll switch to the darker background in a moment. And right now, futures are fairly flat. Okay, by the way, real quick, right before I do get into the charts, just really quickly, apologize for this. Usually I bring this up before I get to the charts, but pretty light today in terms of news. Where are we today? Today's October 1, right? Tuesday. So, but I did want to make a note here. Reason why I'm saying this is at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know, now you know. We have ISM manufacturing PMI JOLTS job openings. So that's 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's 30 minutes after the market open, right? So just make sure that if you are trading the open, remember that we have news at 10 a.m. So that could kind of jolt the market, right? With the JOLT job opening. So that could jolt things just a little bit there. So just make sure you get your your risk management set in place, contract wise, futures, options, forex, stocks, whatever you're trading. Okay. So yeah, just make that and make that a note today, so you don't get caught you kind of off guard there. And then we also have tomorrow non-farm, not non-farm, ADP non-farm, unemployment on Thursday, and then Friday the famous non-farm payrolls, right? So we get a couple of things, a couple of hits here for news. So make sure you're diligent on that. Back to the charts, S&P 500 futures daily time frame, and I'm not going to go all the way back here. Okay, you can go watch some of the recordings if you're fairly new, just following the page here. But we're just kind of hanging up here. We're just kind of parked, right? So yesterday was a big quarterly expiration. The S&P 500 kind of went crazy, wacky yesterday. Not really, I wouldn't say crazy. I've seen way crazier than that. But we kind of dropped, we dipped pretty hard, and then we into the close we rallied pretty hard, right? And it was awesome if you know what kind of what to look for. Had some options that really did well, okay, and for the team too, a couple of butterflies to catch. We always discuss butterflies around major expiration dates, and quarterly yesterday was a big one, right? So we had a couple of butterflies on that really printed pretty well. So the team did good on that. Congratulations to anybody who took that trade and managed that trade and made some alpha, right, some gains. But anyways, that was yesterday. Today's today, right? So today, however, we're just quiet, pretty quiet, right? We got some news at 10, so I already mentioned that. But we have these little small grindy bars here, okay? Small bars, right? So we've been kind of just slowly kind of grinding. Even on the smaller time frames, which you'll notice in a moment, on the darker background, higher high, higher lows, okay? But I'm going to say this. I'm going to move on just quickly from here. But tomorrow, being Wednesday, inside the live trade room with my phantoms, I'm going to go over a couple of things with you folks. It's beyond the scope for right now, just because it's too much time that I would have to input into it. Okay, so tomorrow, if we do have to go through kind of a bonus session, I'm down for that. I definitely owe y'all one as well. It's been quite some time, and I'm going to talk about going into the month of October, especially going into an election year. Okay, so we'll discuss that. Anyways, so yeah, just be patient as always. We could flush down on a bigger scale macro wise. So just always be courteous of that. Okay, I can say the same thing for Nasdaq. Okay, I can say the same thing for Nasdaq. Now Nasdaq, I'm on a daily time frame. Lines are kind of messy here, just a little bit, but what I typically would bring up here is the, for NASDAQ, I have this illustration drawn up here, which is I guess, hopefully easing some of the organization here, but we are, we are basically here in NASDAQ, right? So I have the price chart down here, and I just kind of drew the impulse correction, the segments up here, right? So in terms of NASDAQ, we do have this supply up here, right? So we have not yet made an all-time high for NASDAQ, meaning up here, right? So we're still kind of hanging out on the last little level of supply before we reach that all-time high level of supply. All right, so we're still kind of here in Nasdaq, and we, as you can see up above, okay, we do have some supply, right? This gap fill, you might want to write this down. I think I put this on YouTube as well, even in the past. This 496, handle 496. There's still that unfilled gap right there on Nasdaq. Okay, this is QQQs. Okay, this is the ETF. Now, why do I bring that up, and why did I rabbit hole on that? Well, because if I go back to the futures chart, okay, that gap fill is going to be deeper up into this level in here. Okay, so it's probably going to be roughly, I have to get the exact price, but it's going to be roughly, I'm looking at this liquidity sweep here, it's around the 20,720, so 20,720. So I'll even make a note of that just really quickly, and I know you'll be able to see it better on the darker background in a moment. Okay, so if I put this NASDAQ 720, okay, you'll see that in a moment a bit more better. Okay, so the point that I'm trying to make just very short and sweet. Okay, here's current price right here, right now. And if we look up and left, we do have, we do have some supply up here, at least, in the NASDAQ versus, looking at relatively to the S&Ps. Okay, so there's something there that is definitely that is definitely worth noting, right? In the event that we don't make new all-time highs in QQQs and we were to correct, which I'm somewhat expecting here in the month of October. And again, we'll drill down. Okay, I'm gonna save some time here and not even cover really, not to be snide here or anything like that, but the Nasdaq, I'm sorry, the Dow Jones and the Russell is almost not even worth our time to really look at. Dow Jones is playing a bit more ball in terms of price action. It's going pretty well. It's better than, I should say, Russell 2000. But obviously Nasdaq and S&Ps are obviously taking gold and silver medal. Russell 2000, I like it, but it's just, man, what does it do? It's just not even participating. It's just very slow, and that's what happens sometimes in small caps. So low rate environment should Russell 2000, should be popping. Right now that has yet to fall through, but there is a little bit of some activity happening in the options that's beyond the scope of this on this 1 hour session right now. But again, I kind of will talk to and mention that to Phantoms as we kick off this Q4. We'll get some bonus sessions going, spend some time. So we'll spend some time together. All right, moving on here, going into the monthly, weekly, daily, kind of darker background here. Right, switch over to the S&P futures. Going on here, S&P, where are you? Finding S&P, finding Waldo, there you are. All right, think or swim here for you new folks here. I got monthly on the left. I got weekly here in the middle, daily, monthly, weekly, daily. All right, S&P futures. I'm gonna drill down to the smaller time frames. All right, so on the upper left, I have the 60-minute time frame. I have the bottom left 30. I have the middle 5-minute time frame. Right hand side 2-minute time frame. I'm going to open up the 60-minute time frame, 1 hour time frame here, S&P futures. Okay, and mapping out our Globex highs, Globex lows. Right, so something called the Globex high, Globex low, and that's the overnight session. So in thick or swim, gray space here, right? Gray space. So we have the overnight high comes in at about roughly 58.22 half. Okay, right up there, represented by that blue line, and I have the Globex low here so far represented by this blue line, call it 50, give or take. It might be a tick or two off. Okay, check your platform. And yesterday we had a flush, right? So this was yesterday's low. So we were just calm, kind of inside bar, right? And then we had a nice little flush. Okay, a lot of the put activity really dried up, so we had a little bit of a flush. Okay, yes, JP Morgan, the famous collar trade, unwind, roll, all that kind of good stuff in this market, right? If you know what that is, great. If you don't, I can't explain that right now. That's well beyond the scope of the time that you have here today. But yeah, so we had the famous JP Morgan collar trade roll at the end of the quarter, right? So at the end of the quarter is a very significant time in options, and that's why we stressed a lot on that going into the past 2 weeks, coming into last quarter, coming into the end of the quarter, right? The point that I'm trying to make for right now, that was yesterday, right, is that if I look at Globex low and I look at, I want to look for institutional level of demand below Globex low. And as you can see, it's going to be a little bit more difficult, here's why, because as we look below current price, what do we see here? We see a lot of wicks, right? A lot of wicks and not a lot of great formations. Okay, so if I look, below the Globex low and I just follow current price down and left, okay, all this stuff here got washed out, by the way, with this wick yesterday, okay, and it just washed out other prior wicks, okay, wicks being the wick, right, the tails, what have you, okay, tomato, okay. So really the point that I'm trying to make here, short and sweet, is just be careful because, we're in a new quarter. Markets, I always discuss end of quarter activity with the Phantoms team. Every single quarter, we almost, for this year, we've ended pretty significantly high, okay? And then we had some kind of pullback, okay? Just common sense wise, okay? We train professionally, okay? And we've all, Phantoms, myself, Mr. Black, Mr. Green, all professional traders, so we know, and we've been in this business for a long time. So the point that I'm trying to make is, just be careful with getting bullish long activity here, heavy, because we could have a pullback, which is normal, especially at the end of the quarter, to give us some more space, right? Some space and time to potentially pull back up. Okay, I'll leave that there for right now. Okay, for my Phantoms, we'll talk a lot more in detail in sessions. Now bringing it back to here, okay, what I mean by, what am I trying to say there? I'm not sure if it's gonna happen today, okay, but typically when you have not, when you don't have good high quality level of demand, supporting price right below, okay, then that could give us some clues, if you will, that a deeper pullback is imminent and potentially pending, okay, because everything's about demand and supply at the end of the day, okay. So that being said, very quickly, short and sweet, I do have this 5738 level still pinned, okay, right over here. Now we have to be careful with this level. Here's why. A couple of reasons is because this level, if I look down and left, is not the freshest in prime. So if I look right here, if you want to write this date down, it was September 19th. Okay, September 19th, overnight futures level about 1 a.m. give or take. Okay, so September 19th, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Okay, September 19th, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. There was an impulse, a basing, and an impulse, an IBI. And then that was tested right there. We actually caught that level, good, great, cool, whatever. Okay, we caught that level. And then if we come back down here, again, this is not going to be prime or the first time back, okay? And also, furthermore, this is also developed in the overnight session. So it's not as strong to begin with, okay, but it worked out very well the first time back. And we caught that, okay? So, take this level with a grain of salt, as they say, right? As a grain of salt. Okay. Yeah, no stable floor, quality transportation, exactly. So just be careful, right? So now I'm not saying that, when this market drops, it's going to crash and go fast. That's not what I'm saying. Just be patient, diligent. We probably need a catalyst for that. Okay. But, we get some news, we get some, non-farms, things like that. All right. As traders, we're always going to be on the hill, always focused and just making sure that, if you're in this business, be cautious, right? Yeah, great. I like the way you say that, Possum Foot. Okay, this would be a bit more of a confirmational. So I'll even make a note of that. Okay, right here. So you might want to just be a bit more confirmational. COG. Wait for potential COG down here. Okay, and be more confirmational, if you will, right? Down at this level down here, 5738. Okay, but let me make that a bit more bigger so y'all can see it. Just looking at the time, I gotta go a bit more faster and furious here. All right, there we go. Hopefully y'all can see that a bit more better and can read, because I can't spell. All right, now if I wanted to, man, there's really nothing too fresh and prime down here, to be honest with you folks. 5707, of course, I got a little baby level down here too. So there, you can pin that. And then I have 5680. And again, not to sound like a broken record here, but the 5680 is also not that super prime. So just be careful. Now, if I were to look for a prime level, okay, Mr. Blue, like give us something here. Okay, great, I got you covered right here. 5605, okay, labeled B. Okay, might want to write that down, 5605. And then I have also the 5566, okay? 5566, labeled level number A here, okay? So I'll repeat that one more time, we're gonna move on, right? If you want higher quality level of demand, okay? Institutional rise, fresh levels, 5605, S&P futures, 5605, itemized B, okay? And 5566, itemized level A, okay? Now, real quick, if I go back to the charts on SPYs, this was the levels, if we remember from my Phantoms teams in here, the team in here, great team, all right? I don't know what I would do without y'all. We have these levels down in here. Those are itemized level B, okay, and itemized level A. And this is why I keep my work on, so it saves time for the team, and we can keep it moving and grooving, right? Now, in SPYs, you might want to reference this. For you YouTubers here, we got the, for SPYs, that would be 559, itemized B. And you can see I have the notes for futures, 5605, itemized A, and SPYs, that price comes in 556. And as you can see, I have still the notes from futures, okay? Right there, let me just delete this one right here, because it's just the stop loss price, which is still valid. Control Z, let me bring that back. Control Z, I'll bring that back. All right, there we go. And futures, there goes the 55. Why is this a different price? 5529. Hold on, let me make sure. 5566. Hold on. Did I get my facts straight here? Apologies for this. I want to make sure I don't have a typo here. 5605. That checks out. This should be 556. This should be 5560. Did I make a typo? May have. So apologize for this. 5529. Oh, that was a stop loss. Okay, so this should be 5555. This should be 5566. Typo. Yep, I put this. I see what I did. I put the stop loss price as the entry price. I knew there was a typo there. I apologize, folks, but gotta get the numbers right. You gotta get the numbers right. So this should be 5566. Okay, noted, corrected. All right. This is recorded, all that, right? So you can go back. This it's not like, I don't know what's gonna happen, but this is pretty sure not gonna happen today, right? So you got some time there to dot your I's and cross your T's. All right, cool. Let's move on. I'm gonna have to go back a little. I'm gonna have to go a little bit quicker here on Nasdaq. Nasdaq. That being said, let's do it. So we have at Nasdaq 60-minute time frame. Where's my Globex high? Right here. Okay. Where's my Globex low? Right. I'm just gonna have to delete this level. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna have to delete. Right. You got the demand zone here. Great. Kind of popped out, and then we liquidated it here. All right, good, right there, right, because it's in the way now, and so we have to update that, right? So, there's our Globex low, and same exact thing, right? Same exact thing in terms of not high quality here. This is a test, so I have 19,880, okay? Put an asterisk on that, fairly aggressive, all right? Might want to be more confirmational, as the team had mentioned, all right? I also have 19,735 down in here. Again, same thing, a bit more confirmational. All right. I will say Nasdaq though, this one looks a little bit better in Nasdaq. The 19,735 a little bit more better than the S&P. Okay, but if I were to equate those deeper levels, you'd be down here on the Nasdaq. Keep it short and sweet. 19,300s, 19,300s to 19,200s down in here. Okay, so if I just bring that price kind of right in center, I'll just make this a whole kind of color code here, blue, just so that kind of pops up. All right, and hopefully too bright. Hopefully I can maybe distinguish some differences here. All right, in short, 19,325, 19,140s. Okay, this would be the A/B equivalency to futures level that I just, speaking, 1, 2, 3s and ABCs, right? Keeping it simple. All right, so I'll just make one grand daddy AB levels down in here. Okay, that would be the fresher, more prime, if you will, with the discussion that we just had this morning. Okay, 19,325s down to 19,140s. Okay, A and B. All right, Qs. Just really quickly, do equivalency to that on QQQs. It's going to take us. It's going to take us down into 912. It's going to take us down in here, the 470s. Again, I'll just label this AB real quick, right? For time's sake. All right, because we did a heavy lifting job, squats and cleans in the gym on SPYs and futures, S&P futures and SPYs from Fed, and that was the work that we carried over. All right, and for the sake of time, we really do as much. For the sake of time, we didn't do as much in QQQs. All right, but that level, that also is confluence with last month's VWAP, by the way, which could be rebalancing for this month. Okay, so there's a lot of stuff here happening down here. Let me just put a line on that real quick. Boom, bang. Call it NASDAQ 470. Simple enough, okay? And again, I'm just on a 60-minute time frame of Qs, kind of drawing the confluences with S&P, futures, okay, to QQQs, okay? All right, for shorting, we could. We could. It's still a bull market, but I'll have a discussion with the team, of course, tomorrow. Okay. What I would say and suggest is drill down. Okay, we have 15 minutes 15 minutes before the market open. Come in here and drill down into the futures level up here in the daily time frame. Okay, in the daily time frame. So we already talked a little bit about that right before. Okay, and again, just real quick, I'm really eyeing the unfilled gap in QQQs, which comes in at 496. Okay, so that's still going to be an area where price could potentially attract. Oops, didn't mean to move that. Okay. All right, so that's an important one there. All right, while I'm at trading view, let's just stay here. So we get the VIX today, this morning, fairly quiet. All right, so we got VIX, in short, it's a lot more complicated than this, but, VIX up, market down, VIX down, market up, inverse correlation. All right, so right now VIX is fairly quiet. It's up slightly, but nothing too crazy. Okay, nothing too crazy at all. That's nothing. All right, 0.48, nothing, that's nothing. So VIX is still relatively fairly low. Let's watch out for a VIX spike at some point in potentially October. Okay, just being logical about things with a correctional move. Okay, October, the spooky month, right? So Blue Google had a big jump overnight. Yep, I'm gonna get to that bucket. I got you covered, buddy. I got you covered. All right. But I want to put that gap up into perspective, right? So pre-market routine, check the overlay, right? That being said, looking at some sectors here, XLK all the way down to XLU. We got some sectors that are green. Can you look at Google? Yep. Pause. Yep. Yep. No worry. I got y'all covered. Y'all looking at Google, yep, because communication sector, if you look at the communication sector, which Google is in, that's the stronger sector right now. So that's mainly being pulled up because Google could gap up, a big gap up here this morning. But we got to put that into perspective for sure, right? And we will absolutely do that for sure because I'm going to go over the gaps in FANG, all right? Just showing you some pre-market routine here as well, in addition, okay? Danny Taj, I was looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA's still setting up for a potential squeeze. Actually, I'm already still long some NVIDIA, by the way. But yeah, absolutely. So I'll go to Google and NVIDIA first time through as we get to the tech, as we get to this the FANG stock. Absolutely. So let me see. Tech a little quiet here this morning. Communications, of course, a little bit more stronger there. All right, and so we have some sectors, long story short, we have some red sectors, some green sectors, right? So just be cautious. All right, Bitcoin trying to break out here. By the way, today might be a good day to sell some puts and some Bitto, okay? I might be picking up some more shares in IBIT as well. October is typically the best month in Bitcoin seasonality-wise, okay? And if market's gonna pull back some equities, we might be able to get some Bitcoin play. So again, when I have more time, I will discuss this tomorrow with the team in Phantoms. All right, so put a pin in that. But yeah, Bitcoin plays are definitely gonna be on the top of my list for this month of October. Okay, we already went through a couple of some analysis things here, but we did it very quickly and kind of non-formally, so it's all weird and 2-year-old illustrations here. So I'll clean that up for the team. Okay. While I'm here, just real quick on VIX, let me just map out the overnight high, overnight low on said VIX. We track that on the higher time frames. We also want to track this on the smaller time frames as well. So just that being said, the overnight high, where is it? Right here. All right, where's the overnight low? Here. All right. And I just kind of map out the middle, so where it is in range when I pinned it, and just kind of ellipse here. On the upper and lower of it, and if VIX spikes up and continues to rally up, that could be more bearish for the market. If VIX spikes down and continues to fade and trend down, that could be a bit more bullish for the market, right? Inverse correlation wise. All right, I'm going to take off the overnight extended hours off here for a moment, and let's just go through some tickers here. All right, so everything's on a daily time frame here. Trading view. I'll start with Apple. Apple had a nice breakout gap yesterday. Pro gap up, which was nice. We were already long. So daily time frame of Apple here. All right, last week's high, last week's low. Okay, Apple yesterday. I don't know if y'all caught this. The team and I were already in it on a swing trade, so we had options that were up, over 100% on these. So good job if y'all took it. Good job. So we were already in it, but we had a nice pro gap up yesterday in Apple, fade up. Now we still just cannot break that level, right? But we had a beautiful day in Apple. Yesterday's close was up here, but this morning pre-market quote is down here. So we're almost giving back all of the day yesterday gains on Apple. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean that we're just going to short this here. I mean, this is still an inside gap, and pretty nasty one, albeit because the pre-market quote is down here. Okay, but it's not a mortgage gap or anything like that. And again, we still have to put that into perspective. We're still in if you don't understand that Apple's still in a macro bullish uptrend, a couple of percentage points off all-time highs, and I can't help you there. All right, so even though we're in a gap down environment, we're still in a macro picture uptrend. Okay, I remember last week, we gapped down and we did a liquidity sweep right below the mother bar, hit monthly VWAP, and then that was right where most people were probably like, oh no, look at this gap down, it's going to fill this gap down here. All right, that was a buying opportunity, and here we are now. Okay, so always put those gaps into perspective. Okay, so Apple might be a little bit more confused here this morning, though, I will say. Okay, Google, Nvidia, Tesla might be a little bit more better, as you'll notice in a moment. Okay. Yep, that candle will give us something to lean against it. Yes, sir, JL. The GOAT has spoken. All right, Amazon, yesterday's high, yesterday's low. Okay, I got last week's high, last week's low highlighted in yellow, of course. Amazon already rebalanced into last month's VWAP already. Okay, the gap, slight gap down. All right, we are still here, and there is a level. There is something here in terms of some kind of level. It's not the greatest level in the world, I will say. Okay, gapping down into, or yesterday's, I should say, we dipped down into. Okay, but again, Amazon, okay, still macro picture uptrend, etc. So again, putting those gaps into perspective. All right, so we still have this level right here. So just be careful. There could be some liquidity fishing right here below here, because typically when you have like a nice clean level below, all right, a lot of traders will say, oh, if it breaks this level, it's going to go down, 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 and fill the space. That could happen fairly quickly. Okay, but typically with no catalyst, that it could be grindy and grindy, etc. So just be patient with that. Okay, don't be market maker shark bait liquidity sweeping on right here. Okay. Okay. And again, if I had more time, I would go a bit more deeper into that. Google, everybody's question, Google, right? Now, Google has been a bit more weaker than the other, right? A lot of stocks in the FANG sector, Magnificent Seven, are making new highs, Meta, or at or close to all-time highs. And Google has been kind of like the little doggy in the corner in the litter, right? It's like kind of with the googly eye, right? The little dog, oh, so cute, right? But everybody loves Google. Everybody still is going to love Google, right? So it's kind of waking up here. Now, we do have this big gap, right? So, as requested, y'all want Google, right? And I do too, right? So we have this yesterday's close here. Now we have a big gap up. Okay, we have a big gap up. I'm sure there's some kind of news here as well. Okay. However, we have to put that into perspective. Now we are gapping up, but we are gapping up into what color do I have here, folks? Okay. What color do I have here? Yellow. Yellow means weekly. All right. So, albeit we are gapping up, but if I were to ask you just a really quick, simple question and just looking for a simple answer, not rocket surgery here, are we gapping up into supply? Are we gapping up clearing supply? Right. So give me a C for clear, or give me an in for in supply. All right, we are gapping up into a supply area, okay? And this is not a small time frame area, okay? This is not a small time frame, all right? So this is not a 60-minute, this is a weekly time frame, all right? Weekly time frame is a big time frame. So even though we are gapping up, okay, pretty significantly, okay, we are gapping up into a level of weekly supply. Okay, now we could have a gap up and continuation push higher. Okay, but even that being said, I'm still going to be, if I were to take a long price action wise, okay, so I'll even make a note here. How's the daily price action developing? is going to be the ultimate question, right? How is the intraday tape developing, right? So yes, albeit if we do have good tape off the open, right, I have no problem, taking a long up here, but I do want to be extremely courteous here with the gapping up into supply. Now, what kind of supply? Weekly supply. So we have a couple of weekly highs here, okay, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So just be extremely careful with that, right? Just because we have a big gap up does not mean that we are just going to fly up, 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 up. Okay, I would also note that we have an unfilled gap right in here as well, and that price comes in at 172. Call it 50. All right, 172.50. Let me just verify that. 8 minute, yep, okay, just making sure. Close. It's 172.45, but 50, nice even number there. So 5 cents, they're gonna be not too big deal in the grand scheme of the universe here. Hopefully it's everybody safe with the hurricane and all that too. Man, Georgia, Florida, North Carolina. Whoa, holy smokes. And I was in that hurricane, so God bless. Did not affect it. I am sending monies to. I'm sending a couple grand, donating a couple grand because it was devastating. So I am now in North Carolina. I'm not even from here, but I gotta help this state out. So I'm in talks to sending over some money to people who need it. That was terrible. I saw people's videos of people's houses just floating down the street. Unbelievable. Mother Nature always reminds us that we are absolutely, we can get washed away with Mother Nature, blink of an eye. All right, love your life. All right, cool. That being said, yeah, so just put that into perspective, okay? Map out your weekly highs, etc. Okay. So we'll see. All right, I'll Google's on the top of my list. Okay, for sure. Tesla as well. It's still in a squeeze. Okay, it's still in a squeeze to the upside. I'll leave that. I'll keep it short and sweet. No gap. We are in this level here. We're just grinding out this level. Okay. Tesla can kind of go anywhere, but Tesla's holding some bids within yesterday's big, slight move down on the S&Ps. At least in the morning, Tesla didn't even budge. AVGO, one of my faves, unloaded a ton of stock up here, unloaded my calls up here. Good, nice little pullback here. Okay. I was actually hoping it came down a little bit lower yesterday. We do have this unfilled gap right here, which is noteworthy down here. All right, so call that 162.90. As I'm typing this in, for the gap today, it could kind of go anywhere, right? I don't mean to sound cheesy that way, but intraday tape right off the open, last week's high, last week's low. We had a little bit of a hammer bar close yesterday, so it'll be interesting if we break, yesterday's high, a little bit of a hammer bar action here in a decent location, not at the greatest level in the world. This one would be more better, okay, in the event that we were down in here, right? But we're not there, so why even talk about it for this morning? All right, but could slight gap down, no big deal, inside gap. But we'll see. Again, intraday tape, a little bit more of the middle of yesterday's range, so I want to be a little more patient on that. Let me see, Meta, all-time highs, right? Basing, outside gap. We inside bar for what? Friday and being yesterday as well, being Monday. All right, so inside bar. So just, slight gap up, outside gap, albeit, but Meta is inside bar. Now this could be a base, potential break. We could have a Meta break out of this base potentially, but I will say this right now, in the event that this does break out, okay, I am, if you're long, I'm going to be looking to exit distribution. Okay, so I'd be careful getting long up here, all-time highs, right? Especially going into the month of October. Okay, trick or treat. Okay, so if this was to pop and you were long, I would definitely want to sell. Okay, sell to exit distribute. Now, just because sell to exit, I can't spell for the record here, so I have second grade spelling. All right, I'm trying to work on my spelling to pass second grade to go to third grade. So if I'm spelling things wrong, all good, right? So sell to exit distribution. All right, distribute. Now, just because what I was mentioning there, is just because we're selling the exit distribution does not mean it's going to be a short. Okay, you'd be shorting Meta, literally one of the strongest stocks on the planet right now. Okay, so just be careful with that. That is a death wish, right? And so you don't want to be a skeleton for Halloween. All right, keep your account alive. All right, so you can try to do that, I guess. Good luck to you. All right, salute you, and good luck to you, my friend, and hope it works out. All right, but I'm not in that camp. All right, more of a buyer or pullback down. Microsoft, what's Microsoft doing, huh? What is it doing? Man, it's been quiet, the range, right? But it could wake up, right? I switched to the weeklies. All right, it's trying to line up. It's trying to line up. We had a positive COG in the weeklies, just no fall through, no fall through, no fall through, right? Haven't really been day trading Microsoft a lot lately, and I took a little bit of a swing, 50-cent option, took a loss on it, no big deal, right? Kind of a failure, right? But it was a real trade, and I took a lot, 50 cents, no big deal. The point I'm trying to make here this morning, slight gap down. Somebody had mentioned in the group of our team that Microsoft does have a positive COG close in the monthlies, but a lot of things do. Okay, so we'll discuss this a lot more in detail tomorrow when I have more time. Okay, we only have 15, 17 minutes left in this session here, so on YouTube. So I want to just get as much out as possible here. All right, but we'll discuss this morning right now. All right, just be careful with it. Just be careful with it. All right, it's been just be careful with it. I'll leave it there in the video. On a more important note, a bit more better in terms of just the setup. And reason being is it's a little bit of a squeeze action. We talked a little bit about that, Donovan. Good to see you, brother, my man. Love Donovan is the man. We talked a little bit about that. Yeah, right now, as it stands, it actually is a mortgage gap down. So Apple, right now we still have a couple minutes, but this was inside gap. But right now, yes, it is an outside gap down. Okay, so that's going to probably weigh down the S&P and NASDAQ. But I still want to be a little careful with that, D, because this gap down, albeit it's still a gap opposite of the macro trend. So I like those mortgage gaps when they are with trend. So I still want to be just a little careful with that one. It could be a nice little decent short really quick off the open, but I want to make sure that the price action proves to me. And I'm not going to get super excited with that just because it's counter the macro trend. Okay. All right, but you are identifying your gaps properly, my man. Yes, sir. NVIDIA. NVIDIA, I want to see the monthly. NVIDIA is interesting. It is setting up in a little bit more of a squeeze here on NVIDIA. Okay, I like yesterday's close, outside gap. I like the bar that it put in yesterday as well. This could be a bit more bullish. Semiconductors are trying to wake up just a little bit, but again, just be careful because October, right? October, and we ended the quarter up. So especially in Nasdaq, especially in S&P's all-time high. So just be very careful with the bullish exposure. We might have to come lower before we go higher. All right, AMD inside gap, so be careful with that. All right. Now, we just got the market open. Be patient. All right, let me just check the internals just really quickly. All right, we do have some decent gaps here. So I'm going to do this extremely quick. All right, advanced declines, basically flat. I'm not even going to discuss this, but basically flat advanced declines. Vol D, extreme positive -3. Right now we're printing very early 1.74 to 1 up. Not extreme at all. Too early for cumulative tick. S&P volume. Normal. All right, so we have, switching over here to the small time frames. All right, Google off open. Remember, be patient with that. All right, Apple. Red bar off open as well. Now, the thing with Apple as well, in addition, we do have this gap fill right in here. Right, so even though we have a gap fill and it's an outside gap and all that from yesterday's low, it's gapping right down into demand. That's a challenge. So we got to be a little bit. We just got to be a little careful with that one. That's all. All right. Sometimes gaps, you can get your face ripped off on gaps. Sometimes, right? All right, spies. SPY stock cap down. Let me see now. Amazon, on the other hand, is into a level, but it's a bit more weaker here this morning. Meta, bucking the trend here, long call, Google. All right, Google wide range bar off open on the 2-minute time frame. All right, communication sector. Let me just make sure Google is still the stronger. Google might be fixing for a long call here. SPY's dumping out just a little bit though. All right, it's basically Google and Meta. That's what's pushing up for communications. Come on, take a swim. Take a swim flagging a little bit here. Annoying. All right, so you could lean against this. I do like the 2-minute bar off open here, but we could push down a little bit. It's going to be a little difficult for me to get long up there. But I'm fixing too, potentially. All right, Apple's trying to clear. JP Morgan has a bit of a doji bar from last week. JP Morgan might be better. And SPY's up and out, so I got to be a little careful with Google up there with markets dropping like this. And I would love if Thinkorswim could just like give me my data here. All right, I'm gonna get long put on Amazon. Come on, man. Oh my God, what is happening here? Remain calm. Amazon, Apple, long put. Apple cleared that level, folks. Amazon hit this 180. Oh, that's the call. Wrong side. I'm gonna hit the. I'm sorry, 182 half. 182 half put here. All right, Amazon, 182 half put. Google, Apple's clearing. Shout out Donovan. Apple's clearing, brother. Oh man, I think I just froze. Apologize. There we go. So I just got filled 155, looks like. This is Apple chart. Come on, Thinkorswim. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. You can do it. All right, long put. Bezos here. For some swings, folks, from the Phantoms group, we'll talk about that a bit more tomorrow here. Let me see, Apple, what am I doing with Apple here? It's cleared. All right. So Apple, long put. Now this could correct a little bit here, but the tape, this is not closed yet for a positive CRG on the 2. All right, we got a wide range bar off 5 that we can lean against here. So if I would do Apple long put here, what does that look like? You may pick up the 225 strike for 170, Apple, long put, bearish. Boom, boom, hit it, hit it. All right, just put an order out here. Apple 225 strike got filled at 174. All right. All right, so I'm short Apple in the form of a bot put. Kind of represented by that blue line there, give or take. Alrighty then, moving on. Bill Gates, Microsoft, not looking good. Ouch. Microsoft, long put, clear. Inside mother bar on weeklies, break, snap, below daily 20. Nasty, not nasty yet, but Microsoft. So it looks like market's gonna be a little heavy here today. I don't like to chase too far on this, but it's still very early. This could correct on you on Microsoft, okay? But let me just see what Microsoft looks like here. Fangs heavy today, at least off the open. Long day, right? Now this could correct on us just a little bit here. All right, so be diligent here. I'll go with the, at least for right now, I want to be slightly out of the money on these, just to be a little careful here with you folks on YouTube, because I'm not going to be able to be here and manage this as I do with the group in our live trade room for members. But yeah, that being said, 420, 420, nice. Pick up the 420 strike put, Microsoft. Put. And this already kind of swiped and printed a bit there. All right, I'll fill it 79 looks like they gave me on that, on the long put on MSFT. Now this could correct on us here, okay? It's just a little bit, so I'd be okay with this pulling back a little bit. All right, I pulled the trigger on that. All right, so Amazon, Apple, and Microsoft. All right, right now these are all day trades for the record, folks, okay? You know, going in somewhere down here, whatever. All right, that could correct on you. All right, so here's VWAP right here. So always reference it goes VWAP. There's a lot of congestion right here, just in the small time frames with the 20, 200, oops, and VWAP. All right, so that could correct on you a bit there. All right. Apple was already kind of printing there. Anybody take profit on Apple already? Oh man, my fave AVGO. No, it's all good. I'm cleared this, but it's one of my faves. It's all good. Come lower. AVGO long put too. Interesting. Clearing yesterday's low. All right, Amazon's TP. All right, I'm going to TP some Amazon here from 155 to 170 here, just really quickly. Right click, create closing order, ping, boom, fill is what? 170, pop. All right, I got some setups here today, folks. All right, here's just a TP, long put, TP, all right, whatever, moving on. All right, Microsoft. me see. I'm gonna TP a little here. Microsoft. Microsoft got a little late on that, so I'm just gonna TP just a little bit here on some Microsoft as well, just really quickly. $295, sold some off. Yep, Santo, yes sir, my man, good to see you. It's more of a longer term trade as well, brother. Microsoft printing new lows here. I just want to be a little cautious with the folks on YouTube because usually I stay in the room with my Phantoms team in here. Let me see, Apple. All right, let me TP a little Apple here. All right, these are probably printing over twos here. But just for the record, let me just TP just a little scale out here for you folks here. Not a lot here, but this was probably printing a little bit more. Just taking some Apple here. Not a lot, but this one's something that I'm definitely gonna be working on all day here. 180, that's nothing at all, but we'll see. Just for the tube here, just wanted to make sure y'all a little bit more safer. All right, obviously I'm gonna manage that. TP means, take profit. All right, still in, obviously. Well, maybe not, obviously, but still in. All right, remember, what time do we have news today, folks? What time do we have news today? NVIDIA holding a little bit there. Y'all see that? 10 o'clock, so just make sure you're courteous to that. All right, Google. And this is exactly why I wanted us to be safe with Google up there, okay? Okay, I'm hoping nobody got smacked up there. It was hard to trust because of that weekly level. That's all. Sometimes the most simplest things will save you in trading. And I can see everybody's emotion in here, not to be weird, but I can see a lot of emotion in here regarding Google. So as a professional trader, I always take into that emotion and say, okay, if folks are really super excited to get long Google retail, be careful, right? So again, I don't want to rabbit hole, but just hit my timer to get off here. Let's see, AVGO. Looking to get long put here. I would love to see this have a official clear close negative COG below this bottoming tail here for a long put bearish. Again, still macro picture, right? That's what's gonna up. Still macro picture up. That's what's gonna be the challenge. But new quarter now, right? So things are cleared. So pullback imminent. Now it's only day one. It's only October 1. We have 31 days in October. All right. So I know you're excited for your Halloween costume and all that, but it's still a month away. All right. Pumpkins are out. Ghosts are out. But we still got some time for that, right? So don't lock in your Halloween costume just yet because you might want to change that. All right, so I mean, this is my time for right now. For my Phantoms, I got something for y'all. I owe y'all. I definitely owe y'all. Y'all know why. It's been a while since we've done a bonus session. So I got one for y'all tomorrow, okay? So I'm gonna set the stage for, or I'm hoping to set the stage for us as a team and a group of traders for October. Is that fair? All right. Right now, I'm not going to. There's a couple things that I see in my mind's eye here regarding setup. AVGO looks like maybe one of them, but I'm not going to be able to manage everything with y'all. As you can see, Apple pulling back a little bit there. Okay, so I just want to be, you know, I'm on YouTube, right? I can't manage everything with y'all here for right now, right? In the team, we with the team, we go all day sometimes, right? And tomorrow probably going to be one of those days for you folks. I owe you guys, right? So. Let me see if I were to maybe work on AVGO. If it were to print, again, be very careful. I want to be careful with saying this. Because it's a put, but meaning bearish, but still macro picture uptrend. We have the 20-pin moving average sitting right there too, but this is triggering right now. So I'm gonna get lower risk for y'all. So if you pick up the 165, those are going for about $1.50. All right, AVGO long put. Manage this aggressively, please. I mean, I can't tell you what to do, but exactly. But just be careful with these. All right, got these for 163, that bottom one there. That was a monster swing trade from 3 to 18 down there, so I got that filled. All right, so I don't want to get trapped down here, but we do have a negative CRG print in all fairness, all right? Looks like things just made new lows here. All right, so make sure you're taking some profit. All right, Apple. All right, from 174 to 196, TP some Apple on this new low. We have news in 12 minutes, right? Remember that. All right, 174 to 195, or 194, sorry for that. This is Apple, second order TP, Amazon. Pulling back a little bit there as expected. Microsoft, right? Microsoft, new low pump, TP some Microsoft here, nice little pump continuation. Apple's printing twos. Shout out Donovan. All right, Microsoft for the win here from 279. I'm gonna get this 345 print here or thereabouts. TP some Microsoft, TP some Microsoft, TP some Microsoft. Would be my humble suggestion, recommendation. All right, and I got filled at 340 on some Microsoft here. All right, they're printing 345, 350s now for you. All right, cool. All right, y'all doing good? Pretty smooth? All right, didn't touch Google. Because I didn't want to get us trapped. That's all. I'm not trying to be better than I'm not trying to be better than anybody in here at all. All right, I'm not like that. All right, I just I tell you what I see, and through many years and years of experience and knowing liquidity. All right, so hopefully I at least at a minimal kept y'all safe in Google. All right, at a minimum. All right, because if you bought that wide range bar off open, you're getting slammed right now. Okay, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. Please don't take me out of context and perspective. All right, I say everything out of love. All right, even when I'm saying bad words. All right. All right, folks, that's it for me, man. I gotta go. I'm gonna manage some things here, manage your trades. We have news in 9 minutes, okay? If this is floating your boat, as always, you could learn a bit more if you go to TradePhantoms.com, okay? This could be your starting point there. Hit that register bar there button. No problem, y'all. Hey, Jackie, good to see you. October 3rd. Oh, I love October. It's my birthday month. Scorpio season. Scorpio season. The 2 days from now, October 3rd, 7 p.m. Thursday, right? Put your name, email there, register, great. All right, what you'll learn, here's a little bit of a syllabus there. All right, hosted by Mr. Black and Mr. Green. All right, they'll take you through the top down of kind of what Phantoms is all about and how markets work professionally. Okay, all asset classes, stocks, futures, forex, options, day trading, swing trading, long-term wealth management, all right, even crypto, etc. All right, just if you're starting out with a smaller account, all the way up to larger accounts, potentially managing some wealth. Okay, so it's kind of a one-stop shop for everything here. All right, demand and supply, institutional order flow. All right, proprietary trading, prop firm trading. All right, I came from prop world, and so yeah, you'll learn more about that, and that's your starting point right there for you new folks. If this floats your boat. For right now, I gotta go. Blue out. I'll see some of y'all this evening in class, and get some rest for tomorrow because I'm gonna go over some things to set us up for October and going into the end of the year. Fair enough. All right. With that said, blue out. Trade safe. Manage your trades safely. News in 8 minutes. Blue out.